Good morning. It's the 10th of November 2025 here in rural Ireland, and you can see that it is a beautiful morning indeed. There's a slight breeze coming over that way, but what a morning. I won't be long here till I'm away off doing something. It's great to be able to get out and about. Anyway, folks, we have great news. Great news, great news. The Director General of the BBC, Tim Davies, and the Head of News, Deborah Turness, have resigned. They have resigned. Now, you saw earlier I did a video on what they did. They are anti-Trump. They have Trump derangement syndrome. Everything Trump is bad. Nothing about Trump is good. They hate him with a vengeance. They're so screwed up with the education system that the kids are all turned woke. And there's a few of us people trying to bring our country people and our voters to the knowledge that the whole thing is a scam and you have nothing to do with these woke cultural Marxist ideology people. Now, the thing is, what did they do? Well, Trump gave a speech at January 6th in where he said, we will go down to the Capitol building and we'll cheer on and support our great senators and congressmen, that's at the House of Representatives, and congresswomen who are going to fight for us and going to put up a case. That meant he was going to stand by the democratic process. I think that's exactly, I played it on that video, I'll put it up again. We will go down to the Capitol building and we will cheer on the great senators and congressmen and women who are fighting for us or who are doing something for us. I don't know exactly. That's a pretty good statement. He was going to back up his own people. He was going to be a great leader. And he says, I will be there with you. I will be there with you. That was it. What did they do? They spliced it. They cut out the first part and they put in another part. We will go down to the Capitol building and I will be there with you and we will fight, fight and fight. But that piece about fight and fight was a different time altogether. He said that we will fight against this woke ideology. This had nothing to do with the Capitol or January 6th at all. Nothing to do with it. That was about his overall strategy for fighting the left and the deep state, draining the swamp. But they spliced the two together a month before the election, or I think it was less, which was a deliberate lie. It was a whistleblower, whoever did it. I'd love to give you a big hug. I don't care who you are, I'd give you a hug. What a great service you have done to your country and rule Britannia and Britain and everything else by doing that. A courageous thing to do. And they went to the Daily Telegraph, and now the whole wokes are all shouting the Telegraph should be shut down. The Daily Telegraph investigated it, published it, and now the two people had to resign. Get the hell out of there. Now, I don't think the BBC can be fixed because for every one of them or two of them, there's hundreds of others. They're all woke in the BBC. Now, of course, I predict that the Irish government will quickly hire them for RTE, radio television. They'll bring them over to Ireland. That's exactly what's needed here by the Irish government. Two found out rascals from the BBC, put them into RTE and give them a big pension and pay them off then with 5 million of a pension after 3 years when they make a mess of the whole thing. So there's the story there. Funny enough, on Joe Finnegan this morning on Shannonside Northern Sound, some man sent in a message. He won't publish anything I sent in. And he says, you're as bad. Why aren't you talking about this? See, Finnegan is woke as well on Shannonside Northern Sound. I was amazing he read it out. Now, one of the good things about this, and you people watching me can spread this around, here we're winning. And I have to be careful how we're winning. We're winning. The fake mainstream media is being caught out. And you can do for me what I'm trying to do with you. You can spread the gospel. You can give this example. I've explained it to you clearly what happens. If you're a lady and you're down at the hairdressers or you're talking to your friends, just let this be known. This is what actually happened. It's there on the BBC website itself. So it's actually on it. So by explaining that, you will begin to create doubts in people's minds that they're being lied to, that they're being lied to, and they're being lied to by the BBC and by RTE, and all of Ireland's local radio stations are all lying big time. And so there you have it. So we move away from that now. We have them kind of on the run there, and the whole thing is to capitalise on that so that nobody believes anything they say. Anything. If they say there was a lightning strike in Kerry, it's almost certainly a lie. Or a house was set on fire by a lightning strike and the diesel tank went on fire, that's probably a lie. Because all they'll do is they'll turn that round to say, oh, it's climate change. You see what I mean? So they're lying. Now, another example of lies I happen to see today, there's a media site, Bloomberg. Now, they can sue me if they want to. I don't care what they do. Bloomberg. And they're saying that the low wind conditions in Europe are causing an increase or volatility in the electricity market. In other words, people are having to pay more because the wind isn't blowing. And that's a lie, because when the wind is not blowing, if there's no wind at all, they just get nothing. They get nothing except that their parent company loads the price of it on your bill. But if the wind is blowing very hard, they have to pay them to turn off. So that's wasted electricity. That's put on your bill as constrained payments. But if the wind is blowing a lot, they have to get the price of the highest fossil fuel in the mix, which is usually coal, oil or gas, or nuclear in France. So if we said the price of gas is that much, the price of coal, or the price of oil is that much, and coal is a big high amount, and they use a ton of coal. The wind energy has to get the price of the coal. So you're saving money if there's no wind. If there's no wind at all, they can't sell their electricity, so they can't get the price of the highest fossil fuel. So there's another example of a lie by the Bloomberg, or misinformation, or maybe their people are just stupid, and when you catch these people out, oh well, we made a mistake, you see, but they won't listen to anyone trying to tell the mistake. And BBC and RTE have been lying about the green energy, and they're lying about most things, but people are beginning to see it, and I think I am having some bit of an effect on that. So we leave it like that, folks. The media's been found out big time. They simply took one part of Trump's statement and attached on a totally different part to make it look like he was inciting riots at January 6th. He was inciting the people to go down and riot in the Capitol buildings, which was a total and utter lie. And the Director General and the Director of News have to go. Have to go. And they're going to be looking for jobs, and the Irish government, I predict, I can't be sure, will hire them. Good gusto. They'll be over here in no time. Big job. They'll give them 700,000 a year apiece, and then they'll give them a pension of 16 million. That's the way the Irish government behaves. There's a similar case in ABC News in Australia, by the way. Something there brewing. I didn't just get under that yet. But you see, if Trump wasn't the way he goes on, if Trump was a more moderate people often say, oh, he's an awful man, oh, he's a terror. If he wasn't the way he is, they wouldn't go that far to lie so deliberately. And in lying, they got enough rope. And when they got enough rope, they hanged themselves. So you see, that's the glory of Trump that people don't understand. By doing this, he creates Trump derangement syndrome, and he drives them all out of their tree. And when they're out of their tree, they make serious mistakes. Folks, we'll see you back soon. I'm so delighted. They had to get out. They couldn't justify it. Wasn't that great? Whoever that was, they deserve a prize for patriotism. No more greater patriotism can one do than when you're working for a place like that, and then to expose their lies. Thank God, whoever does it, if you ever see me here, you've done a great service to your country, Britain. A great service, and I have to congratulate the Telegraph. And therefore, if you're buying newspapers, the Mail isn't too bad for a bit of old skitty news here and there, but the Telegraph is the only quality newspaper. It's prepared to hang these people out to dry. Fair play. I had the man in the video originally who exposed it there and did all the work on it, but the Telegraph editorial board exposed these liars for what they are. rotten liars who are prepared to do anything, include tell blatant lies. And the big thing about it, they're paid for by the public. The public have to license their television set, and we have to pay for RTE to tell us blatant lies. Is that fair? Is that fair? And this is going to be a big issue. I'd say there'll be an inquiry now, and I hope the BBC is shut down out of it to hell. Why are they there? What's the purpose of having a broadcaster who's the national broadcaster paid out of the public purse who can't tell the truth just because they're all screwed up and suffering from Trump derangement syndrome, and they're also against me. They've done this on me. I tried to get my message out on the Green agenda through RTE and Vincent Brown, and every one of them faced me down, and every one of them beat me by just shutting me completely out. And there was a wind farm being planned for County Offaly, and they went down to the committee and they interviewed, this is RTE now, the Irish broadcaster. They interviewed everyone there, what's the story? And everyone said, oh, we're blocking them, oh, we're stopping them, we're going to go to court, we're going to do this. And they got one lady out of the whole lot that said, well, I think they're nice, but I don't want them near me. So they brought her up and put her on the programme that night, on the primetime programme, and out she comes again and she says, I think these windmills are nice myself, but I don't want them near me. And of course that gives the impression that she was a NIMBY, not in my backyard, that she just wanted them, but she didn't want them beside her, when in fact that was her opinion. But she was only one of 23 or 4 people at most, or maybe more, who were interviewed. And they brought her up because she told the proper story, and they excluded everybody else. So that's how they work. And unfortunately, Gript Media, which is on our side, has never contacted me. I think with 12,000 subscribers very near now, Gript should get on to me. And there's a serious problem, because when I was interviewed at the Carrickmacross migrant meeting by their lady there who was interviewing, the minute I mentioned Assi Bibi, she shut me down. She says, this is where a woman was sentenced to death for being a Catholic in Pakistan, and she says, I'm from Pakistan and you're getting no more. So they shut me down. So I don't trust Gript Media either. And it's time that Ben Gilroy got on to me and had a word with me. And I bet you he won't. And if he doesn't, then there's something radically wrong. There's something not right. And it's my job to expose it all. With me, what you see is what you get. Good luck, folks. Great news. There's Donald Trump, no matter whatever you say about Donald Trump. Has a bit of fun? Yeah, there's no fun. There'll be no fun without him. No fun. Look at that. He brought them down. And now there was another fella on the news. Oh, he can't sue. He can't sue there in Britain. It's not their jurisdiction. Now, I'll give you what I believe is the law. If you're defamed or there's something done against you like that, you can sue where the company is, no matter where you're from. You can take a case in the British courts against them. Or if they have a registered office in America, you can take a case in America where they have the registered office under American law. But basically, wherever they did the deed, this is where they told the lie and broadcast the false video. It's where you can sue, and you can sue, and he can sue. So that's another lie that was being put out on the media this morning. Another lie. I think it was on GB News. It was put out. And by the way, GB News seems to be a very good channel. I think they're very good. They're the only one in these islands, right? Now, so that's the situation. Sean Quinn was sued and pursued in the Irish courts by an American corporation. So this thing that you can't sue, an American cannot sue here or Britain, is not true, and my understanding of the law, and I'm fairly strong on that. I'm not a barrister and I'm not a lawyer for it, but that's happening every day. People are being sued by foreign people every day. And if I defame somebody here, or say such a fella living in America or living in Australia has been interfering with kids and has been doing bad things to children, and I name him and all, he can sue me. He can sue me here and say you did it, and I have to be compensated. That's my understanding of the law. So there's more of it. These people cannot accept that there is a price to pay for your damn lies when it affects a person. They were trying to stop Trump getting elected. They published this false stuff before the election to get the American people to stop voting for him. They have some cheek. And Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister, sent over 200 people to Pennsylvania to keep Trump out. And I heard today, and I don't know is it true or not, we'll be looking at this, that Trump has more or less told Friedrich Merz, who's a mad socialist, green, mad for war with Russia. He's more told him we're having nothing more to do with you. And that Trump and J.D. Vance are supporting AfD, the alternative for Deutschland, in future to try and get them elected as in Germany. Trump realises the woke crowd are the road to nowhere. And he's not going to commit America to fighting for them. He wants them out of there altogether. Now, don't quote me on that. I have to come back to you on that. So we'll see you back soon. That's a good bit of a video. Good luck. And now it's back to something. Look at that for a day. Look at that. That's great. Thank you very much. I do think when they see this day weather, I think of people in nursing homes and people who haven't their health, and people facing terrible traumas, and that's where the wee bit of prayer come in. Now, may I also just say there, folks, I've been criticised there about my talk about the church and mass hysteria. It is totally wrong to say I'm against the Catholic Church. What I'm saying is, we had the British in here telling us what to do and took my uncle off to war, enticed him away. Not my uncle, he was a distant uncle. He was a grand-uncle, and he died. And I'd have relations now if he hadn't died. So that's the first thing. So anyway, the British were got out for better or for worse, and to many people they'd rather have kept them, but they were got out. The British were got out anyway. But when we got them out, we handed the whole lot over to the Catholic Church, and that was wrong. And the Catholic, somebody says they didn't sell babies. They did. That was well documented. We're looking at that this 30 years. Mostly to American companies who had deals, American parents and couples with no children, who had deals with the church in Dublin, and the clergymen got the pregnant girls up and put them into laundries, and when they had the baby was taken off them and was brought and given to foreign companies. They sold them. They didn't do it for the good of their heart, for God's sake, cop on there. And so that's the thing. Though I seen Catholic Church excess, but it'd be a very, very wrong thing to say that I am against the church. While all of this was going on, there was people in the church who abhorred what we were doing. The Catholic Church is about the pastoral, spiritual connection between the people and whom they believe to be their Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ. Praise be to him. That's what it is. That has never changed. Whether it's right or wrong, I hold with it, and I defend it's right. It's our tradition in this country. So it's totally wrong. Oh, you come out against the church. I came out against abuses in the church. Abuses. And about too much power. There was one time the De Valera government gave a grant to Trinity College to update the library, and John Charles McQuaid, he was from Coothill, only 15 miles down there, stopped it. No, you can't support the Protestant churches. That was well documented. I read that 1,000 times. What do you want proof for? Over the years, it's proven. There comes a point when actually documenting and providing sources for your information becomes futile just because one person can't accept it. The way we need the church is the way we have it now. We need to protect it. We need to protect its priests, its nuns, and its bishops who preach the word of God as best they can. And it's not easy preaching the word of charity in a world where we need to be tough. And this is always a dilemma for the Christians, how we be tough. Long ago, before a war, they used to pray to God before the war, and both sides would be Christians. So that just shows you. But we have to. That's something we have to deal with. That's for the pastoral people and the Pope to deal with. We don't have to go along with every doctrine. It's only on the stuff that we need for our own spiritual well-being, and to pray to God when we are in trouble or for somebody that's in trouble. And I do often remember an odd wee prayer for the poor soldiers in Ukraine, and I give advice on them to get out of there. Good luck. There's the 20-minute video. Not too bad. I hope you enjoyed it. And we're off. Good luck. Bye-bye.